Mr. Halliburtt, have you ever been to California before?
Before this time, no, ma'am.
Miss Hanukkah, you ever been to California before?
No, I have not, Your Honor.
Joe, have a good flight out here?
Yes,
Huh?
ma'am.
Joe, have a good flight?
No.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, all right. So let me go into what this nonsense is about. This nonsense is about a fishing tank cover.
The courtroom erupted in laughter the moment Judge Judy realized she had flown two 25-year-olds all the way from New York to California to argue over a fish tank cover. But beneath the laughter was something far more awkward. A failed romance, bruised egos, and two ex-lovers desperate to prove the other was wrong. The atmosphere inside the courtroom was light at first. Even Judge Judy couldn't hide her disbelief. Sitting on one side was Andrew Halbert, a young man with an unusually serious expression, clutching photographs of what he called his fish tank canopy. To him, this wasn't just a piece of aquarium equipment. It was property he claimed his ex-girlfriend had damaged. Across from him sat Courtney Hanaka, his former girlfriend, equally determined and visibly irritated. She wasn't only defending herself, she was countersuing him for unpaid rent. Before the case even began, Judge Judy asked whether either of them had ever been to California. Neither had. Then she asked if they had a good flight. Both said yes. The audience chuckled, unaware that the judge was setting up one of her most savage moments. Suddenly, she leaned forward and said, "So let me go into what this nonsense is about." The courtroom exploded with laughter. Tension instantly filled the room. Andrew tried to explain the situation. It wasn't just a fish tank cover, he insisted. It was a fish tank canopy cover. He carefully explained the difference between the tank stand and the canopy, speaking as if he were presenting critical evidence in a major criminal case. The audience laughed again. Judge Judy looked unimpressed. She asked to see pictures, joking that the millions of people watching her program were surely desperate to learn what a fish tank canopy looked like. But then she did something completely unexpected. Instead of focusing on the damaged cover, she asked if the former couple had gone out to dinner together the night before. Silence. The exes awkwardly answered no. More laughter. The judge's questions weren't random. She could already see the deeper issue. This wasn't about an aquarium. This was about a relationship that had gone bad and two people who couldn't let go of their resentment. Then came the devastating moment. Holding up the photographs, Judge Judy looked at the audience and said that her hardworking parents had sacrificed to send her to law school. Her father had worked alone as a dentist, earning every dollar with determination and discipline. And nowhere in their wildest dreams, she said, did they imagine she would spend her valuable time deciding a case about a fish tank cover. The courtroom erupted. Andrew's face tightened. He suddenly realized his case was becoming a public lesson in pettiness. But the humiliation wasn't over. Judge Judy turned to Courtney's counterclaim. She claimed Andrew owed her rent from when he lived with her. At first, it sounded more reasonable than the aquarium dispute. But Judge Judy began asking questions with surgical precision. Did he live with you? Yes. Did he sleep in your bed every night? Yes. Did you continue sharing the bedroom and the bed even after he allegedly stopped paying rent? Again, yes. The judge's expression never changed. She slowly walked Courtney through the timeline, asking about each passing day, each week, and each month. If he wasn't paying rent, why didn't you ask him to leave? Why continue the relationship? Why continue sharing the same bed? The courtroom grew quiet. Everyone knew where this was heading. Then came the knockout blow. Judge Judy looked directly at Courtney and said, "Paying rent are tenants. You're not acting like a landlord. You're acting like a girlfriend." The audience burst into laughter and applause. In a matter of seconds, her entire claim crumbled. Judge Judy explained that if you choose to continue a romantic relationship while accepting the living situation, you cannot suddenly transform that relationship into a landlord-tenant dispute after the romance ends. Both cases had now been exposed for what they really were, two wounded ex-lovers trying to use the courtroom to settle emotional scores. The fish tank canopy wasn't really about property damage. The rent claim wasn't really about money. It was heartbreak disguised as litigation. Finally, Judge Judy delivered her verdict with ruthless simplicity. She dismissed the nonsense, rejected the drama, and sent both parties home with a lesson they would never forget. As they prepared to leave, the judge's final words hung in the air like a closing scene from a movie. Don't sleep in the same bed and then pretend you're tenants. Goodbye. Go back to New York. The audience laughed one last time. The ex-couple walked out separately. And somewhere in America, millions of viewers realized they had just witnessed one of the most absurd and strangely unforgettable breakup cases ever to enter Judge Judy's courtroom.